Hi, it's Therese and Lost in Paper. I'm here for Altenew today and using this beautiful bamboo rose set because I'm going to be creating my own easy zig background. So before I start, I just want to show you, I have roughly worked out where I want my flower images to be on my panel, and I have cut the panel to cover the whole front of my card. It's actually a little bit bigger than what I need, but I've taped it down to a board so this watercolour cardstock won't sort of warp so much. And I'm new to my zigs and I want to know what all the fuss is about, and I thought what better way to test them than to create a background and just see how well they blend. So what I'm doing here is just scratching colour on, and from what I hear it's all about the cardstock that you use, and I haven't been able to source the Bristol watercolour cardstock here in Australia, but what I am using, it's actually a field pad and it's from Araldo, and it's a nice white smooth, it's 225 grams, so it's a very solid cardstock. So I've chosen some bright pinks and reds, and I will list the colours in the link below. You can link to where the colours are, and this, I just love the way these colours are blending. You can see here that the lines that I've scratched on the paper, they are disappearing. I was thinking, oh, you know, this isn't going to work. I thought, oh, I'll be starting again and trying out different cardstocks, but this one worked so beautifully, and these colours are really vivid. So I am being mindful. I do want to cover the whole panel with colour, well, the whole piece of panel that I'm going to be using. I know that it's bigger than what I need, and I have just sped up the process here, but I am referring back to that piece of copy paper that I've got my images stamped out on, and just trying to remember where the flowers are roughly going to be so that the areas that I'm watercolouring are darker. The other way to do this would have been to stamp my images in a watercolour ink and then paint around them, but I just wanted to see how this worked, and I did want it very loose. I haven't waited completely for this to dry, so I know that I'm going to have a little bit of blending with my green and the pinks here, but I was happy for that. But if you really wanted the green to be more vivid, then it would probably be wiser to wait for the pinks to dry before adding the greens, but I just wanted it to look very loose. Now here's a little trick to flatten out your cardstock. I've simply just laid it on my, this is for my big shot, and the sandwich, just used a normal sandwich, so tab 2, but I have added a couple of shims and the 2 cutting plates. I've used fairly new cutting plates here, they're not too warped, and then just ran it back and forth through my die cutting machine, and it will help straighten out the cardstock. Otherwise, if you've got more time, then you could easily just use some books to sit it on and allow it to flatten out itself. So I'm using my MISTI to lay out my stamps, and got a piece of acetate there protecting my card panel, and now I'm using my jet black ink from Altenew. And the great thing about the MISTI is that I can restamp. So I know I want these to be nice, bold bamboo roses, and so I am using a couple of layers of the ink. They did stamp out really nice on this because it's quite a smooth watercolour cardstock. I decided to add a couple little more images around on the panel just to sort of break it up a little bit, and I just freehand stamped those on the blocks. Now I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with my sentiment here. Originally I was going to do a big bold sentiment in the middle, but I don't know, I kind of wandered a bit. But eventually what I decided to do, I cut the panel down, and I thought it'd be nice to sort of use a bit of washi tape here to just add a highlight between the two panels. So I've grabbed some acetate and one of the washi tapes, which is from the Perfect Pair set. It's got sort of these golden highlights through a black and with that nice striped sort of modern look. So I thought this would be fun just to kind of break up that whole panel a little bit and just make it a little bit different to what I normally do. And then I decided to bring the gold into the rest of the card, and I've got some gold mist here and using the end of the nozzle. So this is a spray mist, but I'm just using the end of the nozzle to add splatters over the page. And for my sentiment, I decided to bring the gold in again, and I'm using the Painted Greetings set, and this is some hot pink cardstock, and because I'm going to emboss it, I do use my powder tool just to stop all the strays from sort of getting everywhere. Got my Versamark ink, and that's just a nice sticky ink that will help the embossing powder stick on just the sentiment. And then I can just add my gold embossing powder and heat set that with my heat tool. So it just brings the gold in just that little bit more. So I've got the splatters, it's in the washi tape, and now it's in the sentiment. It is a bit hard to see in the video, but much easier to see in real life. So I'm going to start assembling my card now, and I've added some adhesive tape behind the panel, cut down the acetate, and then I can attach it to my card. I'm using a top fold card, and I want to pop this acetate panel up, so I've just got some fun foam there I'm adding behind the panel, which is going to be sitting higher, and then I can attach the other pieces just using the same ATG gun. It's a nice strong tape. I like the way this holds. Took me a long time to commit because they're such a big tool, and they feel like they're going to be bulky, but sort of once you get used to them, they're a really economical way to add double-sided tape. Finally, on my sentiment, I decided just to add a little bit more gold, and that's just using some mirror gold cardstock and adding that beneath the sentiment just so it pops out. And then I can use some foam squares behind my sentiment to attach it to the front of my card. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Lots of shimmer and sparkle today. I'll be back again real soon. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.